Uh, let's go. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Uh, yeah, man, we in here, man. We in here. We are ready, man. It's time to go, man. Let's get this shit started off right, man. Um, let's get this all started off right, man. Everybody hit that like button, man. Uh, it's about to be cracking, man. Let's get it cracking, man. Um, salute, man. Everybody hit that like button for me, man. Really appreciate that, man. Um, I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that, man. Really do, man.
Police say a combination of a fast police response, witness descriptions, and surveillance footage helped them make a quick arrest. 11 News Investigates has learned this section of the Towson Town Center Mall garage is where the attempted carjacking took place. It happened last Wednesday, just after 8 at night. We found out 5 teens ages 13 to 17 approached a vehicle, but one of the potential victims quickly called 911, and that caused the teens to run.
I have a friend her dad got carjacked at the Aldi by a couple of teenagers in Timonium down the street.
By a couple of by a couple of teenagers. This is what this is something that's got to be addressed, man. Um, this is not cool, man, to just be carjacking. Every black teen that you see in the streets has carjacked somebody or been on a mission where they've been part of a carjacking posse. Almost all of them that you're going to see in the street.
Dad got carjacked at the Aldi by a couple of teenagers in Timonium down the street. So that doesn't surprise me.
That is sad. He hasn't even begun to live, and he's in the wrong direction. I don't know what to say, parents.
Police accuse 4 of the 5 suspects of assaulting a woman 2 days later, also in a garage area of the Towson Town Center Mall. 11 News Investigates has learned the teens tried to take a woman's car keys. We confirmed a witness flagged down an officer and gave a description of the suspects. That, along with surveillance video, helped link them to 2 crimes and led to their arrests.
They should stop crimes and look for jobs.
Part of it has to do with the public transportation. A lot of people come down here and they just feel like they can do whatever they want.
Baltimore County Police now have a beefed up presence at Towson Town Center Mall. Baltimore County Councilman Julian Jones says he hopes the kids get help.
Some really need some help. And I don't believe that releasing them to their parents are always the answer. I believe something must happen to let kids know that we are serious and the things that they are doing are serious and it is hurting people. And we cannot allow them to think that that behavior is acceptable.
Right on.
Thankfully, there are no injuries reported in these crimes. None of the juveniles are charged as adults.
It seems like, based on the video from the MTA bus, that it was a slight bump and a verbal dispute that followed, which then followed.
A slight bump.
It seems like, based on the video from the MTA bus, that it was a slight bump and a verbal dispute that followed, which then followed the suspect pulling out the gun and shooting the victim without cause, without warning, and it's tragic.
A tragic shooting happening inside this MTA bus Saturday afternoon. Police say the victim, 30-year-old William Womack, was getting off the bus when he was shot at. Detective Davis says the victim and suspect, who was shown in this picture from bus surveillance, did not know each other. Police are now using surveillance video from around the busy picture from bus.
A slight bump. And that really don't surprise you, man. A slight bump. I mean, it's all about respect too. But you can't let no son man think that you disrespecting him, man. Especially if he's got a gun. When the son man has a gun, he don't have a gun to ward off danger, to defend himself in the case that someone tries to attack him or harm him. A son man got a gun to shoot your ass if you bump him on the bus. Press 1.
Surveillance did not know each other. Police are now using surveillance video from around the busy North Utah and West Baltimore Street intersection to track the suspect.
MTA handles all patrol bus stations, bus areas, but from my understanding, this is a busy bus hub, and for someone to shoot not just outside but on a bus is dangerous.
Sometimes you gotta get in touch with your emotions before you just go, carrying weapons and going around and shooting people for whatever reason.
Now one family is having to say goodbye to a loved one during the holiday season.
That's the sad part. Everybody get hurt during the holidays. You never know who's gonna get hurt. It's really nothing too many people can do but pray.
Our biggest part of our investigation is the public getting their help, getting this guy's face out there so we can identify who he is.
Baltimore police ask if you have any information on the suspect or their whereabouts to give them a call. In downtown tonight, Tori Orgi, WBAL TV 11 News.
Wow.
Man is gunned down over the weekend on an MTA bus in Baltimore, and tonight we're learning more about what led up to the deadly confrontation. WMAR2 News' Jeff Hager on how a simple mistake cost the victim his life.
Captured on the MTA bus security cameras, a clear image of the man who police say shot and killed 30-year-old William Womack aboard the bus near South Utah Street on Saturday. The confrontation escalated after Womack inadvertently bumped into the suspect.
Based on the video from the MTA bus, that it was a slight bump and a verbal dispute that followed, which then followed the suspect pulling out the gun and shooting the victim without cause, without warning. And it's tragic. And to know that this is a busy MTA bus stop and other people were possibly around.
48 hours after the shooting, people at that MTA hub did not seem surprised that such a thing could happen.
I heard about it. There's always something going on. You just got to watch your back and be careful out here. No, and be aware of your surroundings and everything.
Had you ever seen anything that scared you on the bus?
I'm lucky. I count my blessings.
Investigators are now reviewing footage from street cameras and from the bus to try to determine where the gunman may be, mindful that he didn't hesitate to take a life and to risk others over an otherwise minor infraction.
Bullets don't have a name, you know, so even though whatever this dispute was about, that bullet could, you know, landed somewhere else.
Son, man, they always talk about the police, man. Police pulled me over for nothing, man. But this nigga kill you for nothing. Press 1.
Take a life and to risk others over an otherwise minor infraction.
Bullets don't have a name, you know, so even though whatever this dispute was about, that bullet could, you know, landed somewhere else. Thank God it did not. But that's.
Shout out to Baya con Latinas. He says, hey, I live in Baltimore and I walk that way to work. I don't remember hearing anything about that. Yeah, man, it's, in them cities, it's so much going on. Like a city like Baltimore, so much is going on that if you don't catch it when they got the police tape up, you might not hear about it.
What makes this guy really, really dangerous, and it's important for us to get him off the streets.
That was something else. It just, everything just needs to stop. There's so much going on. I'd be like, can we all just get along, you know? But you just got to be careful.
If you recognize the person in that photo, you're asked to call police at 410-396-2100, or you can call Metro Crime Stoppers at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. Reporting in Baltimore, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2.
Wow.
Developing now, Baltimore police have identified the man who was shot and killed on board an MTA bus in the city. Alexa Ashwell has a closer look at an image of the suspect investigators say they're looking for in what we know about the case.
Investigators say they believe an argument led up to this shooting. It's the latest of several incidents involving an MTA bus in the city so far this year. It was the usual Monday hustle and bustle here in downtown Baltimore near the Hippodrome Theater. A piece of leftover crime tape near this bus stop, a reminder of the argument that police say escalated into a deadly shooting on board an MTA bus Saturday afternoon.
Sector 1, I am getting a shooting at South Utah and Redwood. And for someone on the ground.
It happened on the bus. Can we get MTA out here as well?
Medics rushed the victim to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. While back at the scene, 911 dispatch audio captured investigators working to track down the suspect, who they say had fled the area.
Just get another update. They said that the number one male between the ages of 19 and 20 wearing a black puffy coat, white t-shirt underneath. He's running towards M&T Bank.
Can you follow that person and our unit to where that person went?
Yeah, last seen, he went south on Redwood. I'm sorry, east on Redwood.
Baltimore police released this image of the suspect they say they're still looking for. Investigators detailed they believe he and the victim, now identified as 30-year-old William Womack, got into an argument while on board the bus, and that's when the suspect shot the victim. Even more troubling, investigators say they don't believe the two men had any prior history or knew one another prior to the incident. It's the latest of several troubling incidents to occur on an MTA bus here in Baltimore so far this year. About 6 months ago, 2 fetuses were discovered on an MTA bus in East Baltimore.
That was definitely a sister, man. 2 fetuses. That was a sister.
MTA bus here in Baltimore so far this year. About 6 months ago, 2 fetuses were discovered on an MTA bus in East Baltimore. MTA officers responded along with BPD homicide detectives, crime lab techs, and the medical examiner. The case still under investigation. And just a month after that,
LA and Frankfurt, they gave Guyville shopping center meal staff.
14-year-old Cortez Lemon was fatally stabbed while on board an MTA bus in Northeast Baltimore. Police arrested and charged 18-year-old Brandon Adams with his murder, a young teen killed while simply riding the bus. Other passengers expressing concern about the violence on public transportation.
I don't know if MTA does any type of training to kind of inspect or have a certain interest about someone. I'm not sure if they can be denied a bus ride, but I mean, you have to keep your eyes and ears open, and more drivers, they need to, if they can, be more involved to kind of diffuse situations when they start to see them happening softly before they escalate.
Anyone with any information on this case is asked to call Baltimore police. In Baltimore, Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
So Baltimore, it's doing well this year. I mean, crime, murder wise, it has seen a lot go down. However, that's relatively speaking. Salute everyone, hit the like button, man. Everyone smash the like button, man. I'm about to drop the link, man. Checking out Baltimore.
Fox 45 News obtains a chart breaking down police staffing plans for next year as the city police department navigates a severe officer shortage. Fox 45's Keith Daniels has been digging into those numbers all night long.
He joins us live now with which districts will see the biggest impact and how the department is responding. Keith.
Well, Maxine and Kai, according to the charts that we saw, there will be as few as 11 and up to 17 patrol officers covering per shift per district coming in January. The fluctuation in the numbers is small. Still, it highlights some interesting pockets of data. And tonight, for some, concern. On Baltimore City streets, where city leaders say overall violent crime is down, police struggle to keep the peace, where at times it seems there's far more crime than the men and women in blue to fight it. Now, word of a possible reduction in units on the streets. Fox 45 News has obtained documents that include BPD's updated patrol numbers that are supposed to go into effect in January. One keynote includes the decision to reduce patrol units on the C shift, which includes the bulk of evening hours. According to the documents, there's 1 unit subtracted from every district going into 2025 on the C shift. The A shift, which includes the overnight shift, shows a similar decrease. According to the documents, it's the Northeastern District affected most, going from 22 officers on the streets during the C shift, as seen in 2021, down to 16 in 2023. In 2025, there will be 15 officers on the streets in that district. At Baltimore City Hall Monday.
This is ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous, man. No, well, I can't even say it's ridiculous. I mean, look, every one of those cities, who would want to be a cop in a city with a black mayor and a black prosecutor and a black congressperson and a black governor, black, goddamn, everybody black and shit? Who would want to be a police officer in that type of climate where you know you supposed to be sending bad guys to jail, not going to jail yourself?
A Bronx man is dead after police sources say he was beaten to death with a baseball bat. The victim's fiance spoke exclusively with News 12's Tim Harfman, who is in Throgs Neck, with the details.
Drugs in it.
2-year-old Kalia and 6-month-old Camila are now without their father.
It was really senseless. My girls don't deserve not to have a father.
Brittany Shears says her fiance, Christopher Samaru, got into a fight with their landlord's brother last night. Police sources say the 30-year-old was beaten with a baseball bat at his home on Throgs Neck Expressway near Layton Avenue. Police say he was taken to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead.
He goes straight to the trunk of his car, grabs a steel bat, and runs up my steps to the front of my house and starts wailing on my husband. From there, my husband jumps on him. They fall down here onto the ground.
She says the landlord then jumped in to attack Samaru. Brittany tells us the argument was about rent money.
They keep saying that we're not paying rent at the moment, but that's further from the truth. He accepts partial payment for rent because they keep hot water.
She claims the family hasn't had hot water in 3 months. The property had at least 67 complaints and 17 violations in the past 2 years, several related to hot water, according to HPD. Brittany says the couple moved in 2022. Now she's a mother, raising 2 little girls on her own.
That man was my soulmate, and we were supposed to get married. He's brought me out of depression.
Police say at this time, no arrests have been made and the investigation is ongoing. In Throgs Neck, Tim Harfman, News 12 The Bronx.
A West Baltimore community is seeing no homicides in more.
Yo, shout out Baltimore. Baltimore's salute to everybody out there, man. Hit the like button, man. Support the channel, PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Baltimore, I think they're doing well. One thing about Baltimore is that you have to give credit, just like Philly. If they're reducing their homicides, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. If they're reducing their homicides. Now, all crime, of course not. But if they can reduce these homicides, I'll give them credit. I don't like to, not give the mayor or the people in charge credit when they do the right thing. So I'm gonna give them credit for reducing their homicides in Baltimore. And the only thing I can say about the crime is if you live around black people, there's going to be crime. There's going to be a certain level of crime that you have to live with. And it seems like these cities have allowed people to live, just with a normal amount of crime the last year.
A West Baltimore community is seeing no homicides in more than a year, and residents credit their own crime-fighting strategy despite receiving little help from the city. Fox 25's Jeff Abel takes us through the efforts to target vacant homes and liquor stores in the Matthew Henson neighborhood. Jeff.
Violence interrupters.
You may remember it was just 2 months ago when the city credited Safe Streets for helping bring down homicides to 0 in 3 different neighborhoods in the city. Well, there was no mention of a West Baltimore community, which hasn't seen homicides there in more than 440 days. And neither has it seen any sign of Safe Streets.
I got 36,563 people as documented by the city.
It's the largest community in Baltimore City. And when it comes to homicides, Doc Cheatham will tell you it is the safest.
That's 442, 43 days.
Without a homicide.
Without a homicide. Without a homicide.
The Matthew Henson community, which sits in the city's highest crime district, has not seen the homicides that many neighboring communities have seen. And neither has it seen City Hall's crime-fighting strategies, which city leaders have credited for reducing the city's crime rate.
Safe Streets, Muncie, GVRS, We Are Us, Ceasefire, all 5 of them, none of them have been here.
When When Safe Streets first launched 6 years ago, residents in Matthew Henson asked for its help. But when it failed to move in, the community developed a crime-fighting strategy of its own.
Where we had homicides, where we had drug dealers, was the same place we had liquor stores. We overlapped that with where were the shootings taking place. They were taking place at the liquor stores and the drug distribution.
So each night, the community dispatches a team of former felons who work the area around liquor stores and vacant homes. They listen for potential conflicts and help diffuse them.
All you gotta do is listen to them. They tell you everything.
It sounds similar to the work of Safe Streets, except for one glaring difference.
The difference with Safe Streets is, yes, they're all former felons, but they don't have what we call, they don't have community rep. They don't have a reputation here because this is where they come from. The guys that I use had to have lived here. I'm not having a Cherry Hill guy come up here and tell us what to do.
The year they deployed the strategy, there were 16 homicides here. A year later, there were half as many. And now it's been 440.
Yo, that's remarkable, man. You got to give them people credit for this, man. To go from 16 homicides in one neighborhood to 8 the next year and then to none the next year. Salute to these black people. I wish there was more open about what they did, even though we know it's probably some other factor that we don't know about yet that's leaning into this. It's got to be some other factor that they haven't told us about it, or they're hiding it.
They don't have what we call, they don't have community rep. They don't have a reputation here because this is where they come from. The guys that I use had to have lived here. I'm not having a Cherry Hill guy come up here and tell us what to do.
The year they deployed the strategy, there were 16 homicides here. A year later, there were half as many. And now it's been 447 days, and Matthew Henson is still homicide-free. Neighbors say their homegrown strategy is working without a hint of help from City Hall.
I'm proud of what we've done in their absence. Without their help, none of them take any credit for anything that we've done because it's all under Matthew Henson and me.
And neighbors say their results are proof that homicides can be reduced without spending millions of tax dollars to do it. We're live tonight. Jeff Abel, Fox 40.
Salute to them, man. I mean, they got their murder, their homicides down, and that's a tough thing to do with no cooperation from the community, such and such things like that. I got to give those people credit, man. I mean, in that neighborhood, what was the name of that neighborhood? Forgot the neighborhood already. Salute to Big Larry. Big Larry in the building, man. Shout out to you, man. Don Wrinkle says, good evening, Ock and Company. I picked a random small town, Jameis Winston's hometown, Hueyton, Alabama. You won't believe the result. And yes, I said result as in one. And it's a doozy. It's always a doozy, man, when you're dealing with the sun, man. We got so much going on, man. So much going on. I'm going to bring the panel up early tonight. Everyone hit that like button for me, man. Please, man. Smash that like button. I'm going to do the Chicago. I'm going to do the Chicago mass shooting, man. Right now, there was a mass shooting in Chicago, y'all. Everyone hit that like button, man. Smash that like button. Continue to smash that like button. Drop the link shortly.
Breaking Breaking news right now at 4 o'clock, a mass shooting. At least 6 people are shot. 2 of them are dead. CBS Skywatch over that scene at 59th and South St. Louis.
Our Darius Johnson also live in Chicago Lawn with more. Darius?
Joe and Marie, good afternoon to you both. Yeah, we just arrived to this scene in the last 30 minutes, and it is still a chaotic scene. Police are still here, right here along 59th. We're standing along St. Louis Avenue, and I'm going to step out the way just so you can see exactly what this looks like. What we know right now from Chicago Fire is that 6 people have been shot, 2 are dead, and there are 4 in critical condition. 2 of those people have been taken to Christ Hospital, 1 to the University of Chicago Medical Center, and another to Mount Sinai. What we're still working to confirm right now at this time is if there are 2 drop-off victims at another hospital. We're still working to confirm that information. Go ahead and take a look at some of this video that we captured from the ground and from CBS Skywatch. Over police radio, it says that it happened at a home right here on 59th between St. Louis and Central Park. Again, this is in the Chicago Lawn neighborhood. Again, all of this unfolded shortly before 2:30. That's when we first started getting the calls of people shot. Once we arrived, we saw dozens of children being released from a nearby school, and those children had to walk through this crime scene to get home. I also saw a woman get into the back of a police cruiser with a lot of blood running down her leg. It didn't appear as if she was shot. However, it appeared that she was definitely close to this crime scene in some aspect. It's still unclear at this time if police are looking for anybody. However, we have had a chance to speak to one of our street activists, Donovan Price, a street passer who's often out at a lot of these crime scenes talking about the gun violence in Chicago. Go ahead and take a listen at what he told us once we talked to him at the scene about this mass shooting.
Just sad. It almost makes you hopeless, but you have to keep hope in times like these. You have to keep yourself together. You have to really want to reach out and kiss your loved ones and love your loved ones, because when this many people get shot in a situation like this, it's extra hard during the holidays.
Joe and Marie, once again, this is an expensive crime scene. Again, right now we are standing on St. Louis. This is 59th right here to the right of me, and there are roadblocks all around this area. There are plenty of people still trying to navigate. There are a couple of grocery stores and even some convenience stores around here and some businesses as well. So we are still just trying to speak to people who live in this neighborhood, but there are plenty of them out just trying to wrap their minds about
Yeah, send me that one. Send that one to my email, Don Wrinkles. Saluta, the 91. The 91. Oh, I don't know what you're trying to spell there. But shout out to you, the RW9. I don't know. Shout out to you, man. Hopefully you can tell people how to say that, man. Shout out to you, bro. Chicago mass shooting, man. 3 killed. Another person
Showing
has
you breaking
died.
news tonight. 8 people shot inside a home on the southwest side. 3 are dead. 5 more are recovering.
And WGN's Brona Tumulty has been covering developments all day.
So it was 2 dead and 4 wounded. Now, with more information and going around the hospitals, the police have found out that it's 3 dead and 5 wounded.
He joins us tonight from police headquarters with the latest on the investigation. Brona.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, terrifying situation for those in and around that home this afternoon. A total of 8 people were shot, 2 of whom were dead when police arrived. A third passed away later at the hospital. We're told it all started with a party and quickly devolved into something else entirely.
I was just like, oh, it's just another day in Chicago.
L. Towers was at home today in Chicago Lawn when he heard what he says is an all too familiar sound.
I heard maybe 10, over 10 shots. I just heard like screaming, people like running out the house screaming.
What seemingly started as a party at a home on 59th in St. Louis devolved into chaos after 2 p.m.
Like I said, it's sad and everything, but, I'm in shock just like everybody else.
Police racing to the area, finding gunshot victim after victim inside.
I got another person shot on the first floor.
There were a total of 6 in that home, 2 of whom were already dead. But there was also an additional pair of victims who'd already left for the hospital.
2, I believe, self-transported, and the others were taken via the CFD ambulances. A total of 8 individuals from this incident had been shot. 4 males, 4 females, Hispanic background, ages 20 to 35. 3 of the male subjects succumbed from their injuries involved in today.
We're told gatherings here have been a regular occurrence over the last few months. Chief of Patrol John Hine offering condolences tonight and confirming this is a residence authorities have been to before.
There have been calls of service at this residence before, yes.
Neighbors say police are often in the area.
I've been here my whole life, and I always remember shootings and people getting killed. It's the same thing 30 years ago.
Violence so prominent, it's part and parcel of everyday life. For some, as second nature as breathing.
Yeah, you worry about it, but then it's just like another day. It's just like breathing. It's just, you get immune to it.
Now, we did ask police today about a suspect. No description was given of anyone currently being sought. What we can confirm is that there is nobody in police custody. We're at CPD headquarters.
6 dead, 5 wounded, no one in custody. No one in custody.
We want to get back to that breaking news off the top of our 5 o'clock. 6 people shot in Chicago law. Police now holding a press conference at this hour.
Today at approximately 2:10 p.m., officers of the 8th District responded to a call of a person shot in the 3500 block of West 59th Street. Officers located to that scene had discovered that multiple individuals had been shot. The officers at that time summoned medical services. A total of 8 individuals from this incident had been shot. 4 males, 4 females, Hispanic background, ages 20 to 35.
Oh, this is the Hombritos. Hispanic background. These are Hombritos. These are Hombritos. These are Hombritos.
Hispanic background, ages 20 to 35. 4 females, Hispanic background, ages 20 to 35. A total of 8 individuals from this incident had been shot. 4 males, 4 females, Hispanic background, ages 20 to 35. 3 of the male subjects succumbed from their injuries involved in today. If anyone has any information in regards to this incident, please notify Area 1 detectives via 911 or cpdtips.com. At this time, I'd like to take a few questions.
Can you talk?
Wow. Wow.
The other big story tonight, a deadly mass shooting on Chicago's southwest side.
8 people were shot in broad daylight at a home near 59th and St. Louis. Nate Rogers reports 3 of the victims are dead. Nate.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott and Don. Good evening to the both of you. Still a lot of unanswered questions by Chicago police in this case. We don't know the motive. We also don't know any information about the gunmen involved and how they were able to get away from the scene. We know 8 people were shot. Neighbors telling us migrants from Venezuela lived inside of the home.
Have been calls of service at this residence before, yes.
Migrants from Venezuela. Mass shooting, migrants. This is a headline that residents are going to be like, they can latch on to this because the mayor up there is vowed to not work with ICE. But people are going to groan at that after you have a mass shooting where 8 people get shot and 3 people get killed. And it's Venezuelan migrants.
Have been calls of service at this residence before, yes.
But the most chaotic call for service happened today, with loved ones seen visibly distraught, crying and screaming.
Mass shooting, 3511 West 59th, makes for a total of 8 people shot, 2 DOAs.
We do have 2 walk-ins from what we heard from the 12th district who walked into UIC. We only have 1 information on one of the victims, and we have 0 information on the offenders.
Chicago police say 8 people were shot inside this home, 4 men and 4 women. Neighbors say a party was taking place prior to. There was loud music and at least 20 attendees inside.
They party every night, but today it seems like it was more people over there.
In back of the home, fencing and trash bins were all tagged with what appeared to be gang-related graffiti. The garage door was open and off track.
The motive's very early in the investigation. The detectives from Area 1, the investigation is continuing. Witnesses, the interviews are being done and conducted right now.
The shooting happened at 59th and St. Louis around 2 p.m. 3 men were killed. Crime tape blocked the scene as detectives went to work. Keep in mind, students from 3 nearby schools were getting out same time. Neighbors we spoke with nearly numb to the violence.
It's an everyday thing. It's been happening for a long time. Ever since I was a kid, I remember just people being killed. So it's just another day in Chicago, and it seems like nobody's doing anything.
Nobody's doing anything. Well, you got 1,000 cops in your neighborhood right now. If you saw something, walk up to the cops and tell them what you saw. No one's going to do that. So there you go. That's your nobody's going to do anything. You
To the
ain't gonna do
violence. It's an everyday thing. It's been happening for a long time. Ever since I was a kid, I remember just people being killed. So it's just another day in Chicago, and it seems like nobody's doing anything about it.
Detectives combed the scene for hours looking for surveillance video.
Sir, they can't do anything about it. Venezuelan migrants, black people, you can't control those groups. You cannot control those groups. Venezuelan migrants, black people. Those are 2 groups you can't control. Those are 2 groups that can protest and get you branded a racist. There's nothing. I want to give this Ombrito his flowers for interviewing with the news camera with his face out, not hiding his face. So I want to salute this Ombrito for that, man.
To the violence.
It's an everyday thing. It's been happening for a long time. Ever since I was a kid, I remember just people being killed. So it's just another day in Chicago, and it seems like nobody's doing anything about it.
Detectives combed the scene for hours looking for surveillance video and learning what neighbors may have witnessed. After getting at this hour, Chicago police not releasing any information about the gunman in this case. We do know that 5 of those victims are continuing to recover. The victims' ages range from 20 to 35 years old. That is the latest here.
What's up, Bach?
Downtown, I'm Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Chilling.
News
Looking
update.
forward to the show.
Yeah, man, this is something else, man. Big time mass shooting. 3 murdered, 5 wounded. Venezuelan migrants.
Yeah, I think they're a gang from another country. So I think the way that they wage war is probably going to be a little bit different than the way gangs here do.
Right. I mean, yeah, even if it's the same, it's going to be like slightly different. Yeah, definitely. But they're very comfortable just coming to another country and setting up shop, which is just insane. Wow. Just come to a country, get welfare, your free stuff. Thank God Trump won, man. This is something we've averted, man, a disaster.
And we begin tonight with new information about a teen who was killed by another teen over the weekend. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
And I'm Troy Hayden. Mark's off tonight. Family members say 15-year-old Colton Boyle from Payson was out with friends near Tonto Basin when he was shot and killed. The teen who authorities say shot him then took his own life.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke to Boyle's mother and friends this afternoon. And Chase, this is such a terrible situation.
Kariba, Troy, his mother telling me they are beyond shattered by this, saying her son Colton was funny, kind, hardworking, and taken way too soon from this world. While she didn't feel ready to speak publicly at this time, I did speak with a close family friend who says the community is absolutely devastated. Video of Colton Boyle showing what he loved to do.
Go, Cole. The kid just eat and breathe rodeo. He just loves cowboying.
Family friend Brett Flaherty.
Colton's a big part of our life.
Has known him for years.
He's just a good kid. He likes to have fun.
Saying Boyle enjoyed roping competitions and would travel around the state to do it.
Just a fun kid to be around.
What stuck out to Flaherty is even at just 15 years old, he says Boyle always showed respect toward others.
You can always feel his gratitude and, his appreciation.
And had such a long life ahead of him.
Such an unfortunate accident could happen to such a really just fine young man.
So what happened?
Man.
On Saturday night, in a remote area of the Tonto Basin, the Gila County Sheriff's Office says a group of teens and young adults were out drinking when one of them, a 15-year-old, fired a gun and hit another teen. Family identifying that victim as Boyle. Then the teen who fired turned the gun on himself and ended his own life. Family says Boyle was airlifted to a Phoenix hospital and put on life support, but less than 24 hours later, he died.
What'd you say?
Oh, yeah, because he committed suicide. That indicates he was most likely a glider.
Who was the glider? No, the shooter. Oh yeah, the shooter's committed suicide. Yeah. I would definitely rodeo, unless it was just like a chance encounter with some sons, which it could have been. Yeah, he just, I don't know, man. This is crazy. White people, what are you gonna do? I need all my gliders to come up in here, man, and we got to come up with some strategies to stop this crime in y'all community, man. I know this is the first one in a long time, but you never know, man. It could be a catalyst, man. A white guy murdered by another white guy outside of the home. That's almost unheard of.
From his injuries, devastating his family, friends, and the people of Payson.
Just heartbroken, sick. Like I said, it's like losing one of my own kids.
Not knowing how to move forward without such a bright light in their community.
People are mourning his loss, and it's just unbelievable.
Now, I did reach out to the Gila County Sheriff's Office for additional information on this case, including the name of the teen who fired that gun and a possible motive behind all of this. They declined to comment, saying this case is still under investigation.
You probably won't have another case like this for a fucking year.
Live in the studio, Chase Golightly.
A white teen shoots another white teen and kills him on purpose. We might not have another case like that for a year.
Good afternoon. On this.
All right, let's go, man. Salute to everybody. Salute to the W. He says, let's digress. Name me 3 members from the Real Juice Crew. Yikes. Go ahead, chat. Name 3 members from the Real Juice Crew.
Larry Silverstein.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
I think he was the owner of the insurance company on a certain building that fell over.
Rockefeller, Rothschild.
yeah, exactly. Is everybody who's like literally involved in money or something, man.
Rose.
What's up, Wicked?
Yo.
Salute, man. Rabbit Hole Review says I'd rather live in Ireland than Chicago. Yikes.
But Ireland is pretty sunny nowadays, right?
I'm telling you, man. And those sun men over there got carte blanche. Like America has not gone as woke as Ireland. So those sun men over in Ireland are literally they got like all the aces. It's like if you dealt the deck and one dude got all the aces, they got all of the aces.
One of a kind aces. Damn. I was looking at a meme about how why are all these sun men going to Ireland, which is like so small compared to the entire continent of Africa. So why is Ireland? Why are they required to take them in? You know?
Yeah, I saw that meme. Yeah, leaving Mother Africa. They always leave Mother Africa and go to a fucking white country. I've never seen a black person leave Mother Africa and go to fucking Haiti or go to Jamaica. They always leave Mother Africa and go to a white country.
You know, I wonder how many Irishmen go to Africa to live. You know?
They do. I'm sure some do.
You think so?
I mean, Irish don't have a lot of people that are like missionaries or Peace Corps, but yeah, I would suspect that they didn't have a lot of Muslims.
But I mean in the context that these sun men go to Ireland, you know, just to start a life, right? Not just to go and help people, but to go live.
Well, there's reverse incentives when whites leave somewhere. The incentive is the things that those people have that they have no clue or no use for, like cobalt. What is a primitive Stone Age culture going to do with cobalt? What's a primitive Stone Age culture going to do with goddamn uranium, or oil? That's what that. So white people are incentivized to go to third world countries for their resources and their stuff, and third world people like blacks or Latinos, we're incentivized to go to first world European countries because of their free stuff that they have. Their resource is white men's resource is their philanthropy. White men's resource is their kindness. White men's resource is their altruistic nature. So that's their resource, and we mine that resource. Press one.
But I guess my what I'm trying to say is like I understand that you're saying like maybe an Irish company will go to Africa to do what you said, but I mean like a lower tier Irishman to go work in somewhere in Africa, and just live and get free shit. I guess you know what I'm trying to say. Probably, I would say if it was zero, I wouldn't be shocked, dog.
Zero, yeah. Irish people are, they're not the type. I don't know if they have a lot of people, Peace Corps missionaries, like I said, like a lot of those other countries, man. Like America.
Historically speaking, the Irish did have monasteries that were like really far out there, like in Iceland and shit, probably Africa too. But nowadays, I don't know.
Oh wow. Let's see.
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Reyes.
And I'm Lauren McCoy. Surveillance cameras capture chaos on Canal Street when gunfire erupted early Sunday morning.
As Rob Messon reports, it was one of 3 shootings that injured 6 people over the Bayou Classic weekend.
Shit.
People running up St.
Who
Charles.
knows what the Bayou Classic is? Basically, Bayou Classic is Southern and Grambling, 2 HBCUs. They play a football game every year. They play that game in New Orleans. So what happened was two HBCUs descended on New Orleans.
Yeah, sounds dangerous.
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Reyes.
And I'm Lauren McCoy. Surveillance cameras capture chaos on Canal Street when gunfire erupted early Sunday morning.
As Rob Messon reports, it was one of 3 shootings that injured 6 people over the Bayou Classic weekend.
People running up St. Charles Avenue from Canal Street at 2:31 Saturday morning, just moments after a mass shooting in the 700 block of Canal that injured 4 people.
If something were to happen, I'm like a sitting duck here, and it's not cool.
5 hours earlier, gunfire erupted in the 1000 block of Canal moments after a fight led to a shooting on Bourbon Street.
As a result of that, one individual was struck. A 15-year-old was struck in the chest. That 15-year-old juvenile arrived minutes later in the 500 block of Canal Street at the Marriott Hotel with several friends.
Melanie Taylor witnessed the aftermath of the Bourbon Street shooting after her bosses decided to shut down early.
There was a lot of people running, and they didn't know what people was running for.
Kristen Laurent operates a cigar store in the 200 block of Bourbon, which also shut down early Saturday night.
And then think about how customers feel and people who come here to visit, our tourists. I can't imagine what kind of environment that they feel like they're coming into.
Melanie Taylor says she welcomes her boss's decision to shut down early Saturday night. She says it was extremely important to her to get back to her family.
I love to go home to my kids.
Surveillance cameras at Sirio's Deli on St. Charles, a half block from Sunday morning shooting scene, showed people running away.
It's unfortunate. It should never happen. But they got too many knuckleheads out there nowadays.
Police say there were 400 officers.
That's right. You tell them too many black knuckleheads, because literally that's who's doing it. It's black people dying and shooting.
Yeah.
In New Orleans.
You know what I found interesting in this segment so far, Ike, is when she talks about how, think about it, all these tourists came to the town. Typically what that means is money for the restaurants, for the hotels, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
but this
valet.
group descending upon it, man, they had to shut down early. Put that
It's
in your
supposed to
pipe
be a
and
boon.
smoke it.
A boon to
Yeah.
the economy.
Exactly. Look at the gun memorial. We haven't done this in a while, but look at the gun memorial for New Orleans. Just look at it. Look at this. This is everyone who's died from gunshot wounds.
I've been trying to leave comments on YouTube with the gun memorial in it, and they always get censored.
Yeah. Look at this. Like, at some point, man, if this was something good, like say this was like science or some shit, some science team or math contest, and it was this many black people, that would be all you heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Was that, look, we dominate math, we dominate this, we dominate basketball, whatever it was. Look at this shit.
Man. Do you know the demographics off the top of your head of New Orleans? How many some people are
50.
there?
It's 50. It was 60 a few years ago.
Now it's 50-50 with the gliders?
It might be 50 now. It was 60 a few years ago when I checked.
Man. And then again, we haven't done this as of late, the gun memorial, but again, keep in mind these gliders were killed by Sunmen. When you see a glider,
everyone on here was killed by a Sunman. Give or take
exactly.
5 or 6, man.
I mean, and again, if you see a glider queen that was killed by her fucking estranged husband, fine. However, it's fair to say that these gliders on here were killed by brothers. Fair to say that.
Yeah.
You saw that football game?
Which one?
The Cleveland. Shout out to the Haitian receiver, Jerry Judy, kicked ass today.
Who won?
Denver. Man, I like Jameson. I think he's the next Brett. He plays like Brett Favre. Too reckless though.
Oh,
Jameson.
I didn't get the chance to watch the game. I knew he was playing, but he played well tonight.
Brett and Brett Favre term, yeah.
Yeah, throwing the ball around with interceptions and shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, when this white guy says knuckleheads, he should say black knuckleheads.
He's supposed to say thugs.
Running away.
It's unfortunate. It should never happen. But they got too many knuckleheads out there nowadays.
Police say there were 400 officers on duty downtown Saturday night.
We can tell you that we know that some of the
There were 400 officers downtown, and they still had 3 shootings.
gunfire exchange that occurred were with people who are not from here. These are not our locals who are coming in and settling their beefs.
American
Is there any better?
violence shouldn't deter an approach to crime that resulted in a big drop in murders.
Our holistic approach is how we have gotten the numbers down and saved lives in our community.
But many say the recent gun violence is out of control and question whether they can remain open during weekends like Bayou Classic in the future.
I'm leaving.
You're going to shut it down.
I'm going to shut it down. No questions asked.
And police say the Bourbon Street and Canal Street shootings Saturday night were related. They say of the 6 people wounded in the Canal and Bourbon Street violence, only 1 was from New Orleans. If you know anything about the suspects in these shootings, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers, where you could collect a reward.
And yo, you should have seen well, I don't know if you've seen what happened in Chicago.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we covered that. We covered that on Burritos.
Yeah. So that
Lawn,
neighborhood,
Chicago Lawn, right?
yeah. So that area where it occurred, I mean, if you went there, you would think you're in Mexico. It's like nothing but Mexican on burritos. But I'm
Said
talking
they were
about, like,
Venezuelans though.
they were Venezuelans though. You know how like the city has been giving them like rent money. You know, so they've been moving all over the city, you know, everywhere. Glider neighborhood, Sun, and Mobile neighborhoods, right? But this one, I think he was what, four killed, 8 shot, 500.
I thought it
Not
was
bad.
three killed, 5 wounded.
No, I think it was 4 and 8, if not 3 and 8. But still, not bad, you know, 500 or so, give or take, you know. But they don't have any suspect. But I think about this, Chief. People were pissed about it. It's Monday afternoon, and these motherfuckers are having a party, drinking, kicking it. Think about that.
Yeah, Monday. On a
Must be
Monday.
nice. Must be nice.
Yeah, when you get all free shit in America, in Western countries in general, man. White people's kindness is a fucking resource that is being mined. They don't realize how much they're being taken advantage of right now.
Yeah, you know, funny you say that because you were just talking about that earlier. I didn't think about that because you know the Mexican on burritos, they didn't give us shit. When we got here, they didn't give us nothing.
Nah, nobody gives people stuff to come to their country. Even only people that do that are white people.
But I'm saying though, when my family came here, they didn't give them nothing. They worked like from day one.
Well, but they were like you have services. There's all types of services that on burritos take advantage of. All the city services,
like school. Right?
Well, public school was one.
So should they not have their kids, and should those kids just be in the crib, what, mopping the floor, sweeping?
No,
kids
but I
are gonna go
mean,
to school.
like, hold on. As an burrito, you're coming over here. You got a gang of kids. Dad's working. The mom is taking advantage of those resources. If there's welfare, if there's food banks, if there's goddamn clothing drives, Goodwill, If they have a program that's rental assistance, they got a program for that, program for this. And they got free daycare while she goes and fucking clean people's houses.
Free daycare. Where they do that at, Chief?
Or some kind of voucher or some shit.
I ain't heard of that.
Listen, you on Burritos you on Burritos do partake of the services in these cities. Don't
Everybody
twist.
does. Everybody does.
Exactly.
But what I'm trying to say though, Chief, and not for nothing, is not, and this is a matter of fact, Chief. When the Mexican on Burritos came here, they worked. They were working, Chief. That they were not giving them rent money. They were not giving them
And gangs
shit.
and forming gangs.
What do you mean, like locking up the criminals?
No, the Mexicans form gangs. They got some of the most violent gangs. Mexican gangs on they're not everywhere, but where Mexican gangs are, look at Puerto Rican gangs in the look at Puerto Rican gangs in New York. Nietas, the Latin Kings.
The Dominicans, yeah, I know.
Yeah, look at the
Trinitarios.
Trinitarios. These are serious gangs.
Oh yeah. I'll give you that. I can't argue against that as far as the resource of criminal justice, right? The courts, the housing them, the policing them. I'll give you that one.
I'll give you this.
Police say a so-called juvenile feud escalated to violence and ended up getting an innocent man killed. 52-year-old Brian Kaysen Pence died inside his home the night before Thanksgiving after police say a group in an Infiniti fired at the home. The group targeted the wrong home.
Anthony Zapata, Martin Diaz, Alexander Ortega.
Yeah. Look, I'm not gonna argue this point. However, it's fair to say, like, when was their story? I remember the story. This shit don't really happen like that. Don't get me wrong. I hate these clowns. You feel me? I know these clowns. I hate them. They're retarded as well. You feel me? So I can't argue with you as far as you make a good point as far as like the taking advantage of, like, I guess the criminal justice resources, right? Because it does cost money to police these clowns right here. You know what I mean? So I'll give you that. But what I'm trying to say, the point I'm making, Chief, is when the Mexican Hombritos came here to Chicago, they worked, Chief. Not the Venezuelans that are here. They're getting free rent money, Chief. And they're throwing fucking parties on a Monday afternoon and getting, I don't know what they were drinking. My guess is Puerto Rican rum. I don't know. But throwing parties on a Monday afternoon, shooting that bitch up. That's all I'm saying, man. And that neighborhood, as a matter of fact, that neighborhood where they did that is a gang neighborhood. That's a disciple neighborhood. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I feel you, but you got to feel me, man.
No, I do. What I'm just saying is that, yes, you guys do work. Yes, you guys do productive. Like, I need a new roof, man. My roof. I'm gonna need a new roof.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, seriously. I'm gonna need a new roof in the next couple of years, and I'm gonna find me some more burritos to do it. Yeah.
You know what? I just had my roof done a month ago, right? You're gonna be impressed when these Guatemalans go on your roof. Because for when as a kid, I hired a glider company because that's just what happened. It was just the best deal I found when I came across it. But when the workers arrived, they were Guatemalans, and I know they were because they were like 4'11", 5 feet tall, and but you're gonna be stunned. Like, put it like this: my wife has told me, like, the shit me and you talk about, or we talk about here, DNA, man. That how they worked on my roof, like it's DNA. I don't give a fuck.
No, I got you. I definitely agree with that. But this is
Fox
also
4's Amelia Jones live in North Richland Hills with the story tonight. Amelia.
Steve, North Richland Hills police say neighborhood surveillance video helped them track down the 3 suspects. Before they were taken into custody, all 3 had warrants out for their arrest on charges of first-degree murder. North Richland Hills police announced the arrest of 3 people for the murder of a 52-year-old man inside his home on Stony Brook Drive. On the night before Thanksgiving, police say 19-year-old Anthony Zapata, 18-year-old Martin Marquez Diaz, and 17-year-old Alexander Ortega drove by and shot at Brian Kaysen Penson's home.
One of the shots fired at the residence had struck Mr. Pence while he was in bed.
Pence later died at the hospital. Police say neighborhood surveillance helped them track down the suspect vehicle, a 2006 Silver Infiniti. From there, North Richland Hills detectives and Fort Worth police officers found the suspects and arrested them. Investigators learned that Pence was not the target, and the intended victim lives nearby.
It was the wrong house.
And the reason behind the shooting is what police are calling, quote, a juvenile feud.
So when we're saying juvenile feud, just a young teenage fight, nothing of substance, and absolutely nothing that should have been taken to this level of violence.
All 3 are charged with first-degree murder.
Anybody could drive by your house with a gun.
Tracy Andrews was one of the neighbors who heard the gunshots. She told Fox 4 neighbors are scared it could happen again.
We're going to all be thinking about this for a long time. I mean, it's part of our neighborhood.
Police say they spoke with the intended victim and are confident they have everyone involved.
At the end of the day, I'm glad we can at least hopefully bring them some peace in knowing that these 3 that were involved are in custody and will face justice when it comes.
Police say they did recover the murder weapon. Since the shooting, police say more patrol officers have been in the neighborhood. Zapata and Marquez Diaz were booked into the Tarrant County Jail. According to online records, Ortega is still being held at the Fort Worth City Jail.
Wow. So young boys,
they should get beat like a piñata. That is what it is,
Young boys threw their fucking lives away, man.
Did they really though? Like, if they're that retarded, what were they gonna do?
Nah, they weren't gonna contribute anything to society. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of old gangbangers out here. There's a lot of washed up gangbangers milling around. There's a lot of like dudes that do construction that was in gangs and stuff. Like, you can live on the streets and be a gangster. Everybody doesn't get locked up and everybody doesn't get killed.
Yeah. Well, I could tell you those hombres right there, I could tell you right now, they're gonna be in the joint and they're gonna be very good inmates. They're gonna be fucking cleaning the toilets, mopping the floors. They're gonna be very helpful. I could almost bet on it. See, it is what it is. What do I know?
Why you say that?
We work, right? I don't want to sound like I'm giving us credit, right? But I'm not trying to give us credit like that. But there's jobs to do in the joint, and the hombres are gonna work them. Like, they're gonna mop the floor. They're gonna do it. They're not gonna, unless these might be retarded inmates. I don't know. But my experience is the hombres are typically very helpful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got you.
Also tonight, a weekend of violence across Hampton roads and one city's effort to combat it. Tonight, Portsmouth's Crime and Gun Violence Task Force met. It comes following the latest round of gun.
Everywhere you go, it's the same thing. Salute the Rabbit Hole Reviews. He says, knucklehead, people not from here speaking in code. Yeah, man, that white guy he doesn't know. Like, it's Trump's in office, man. You say whatever the fuck you want, man. Salute the Big Larry, man. Boy Kachina says, Viva El Ak and the nation. And hit that thumbs up, man. Definitely smash that thumbs up. Everywhere there, look, Portsmouth. Everywhere there's Sun people, it was a violent weekend. When are we going to make that, when are these people going to be able to make that connection? There's a violent weekend. Yeah, where the black people are. Well, there's white people in this city, but yeah, none of that shit happened on their side of town.
Also tonight, a weekend of violence across Hampton Roads and one city's effort to combat it. Tonight, Portsmouth's Crime and Gun Violence Task Force met. It comes following the latest round of gunfire. This happened Friday night in Old Town. The victim's crashed car was found at Fort Lane and Crawford Parkway. A man died at the scene here. And tonight, how that task force is moving along with solutions and what still needs to be done. Here's 10 on your side's Deja Parker.
The Portsmouth Crime and Prevention Task Force met Monday to brainstorm ideas to tackle the crime and fill the gaps across the city.
We all know as citizens of Portsmouth here in the community of Hampton Roads that Portsmouth has a major crime problem, and people that aren't from Portsmouth know that it's a major crime problem. But what the issue is that there are a bunch of resources, there are a bunch of opportunities to reduce crime, but we're not working together.
Another deadly shooting this past weekend illustrates why Portsmouth Police Chief Stephen Jenkins and Councilman Mark Hugel say the city needs this task force.
It's just good that we have a commission looking at the complexities of crime. Crime isn't what you see when the time the police department gets involved. There are many things that were missed well before it became an issue. So obviously, I'm excited to see it being looked at from the comprehensive perspective that it deserves.
We don't have an integrated plan to pull all of the things together that are available to address the systemic issues that we have with crime in the city. And so the Portsmouth United has a plan coming together. There are elements of folks around the city who have their own plans, but we need to pull all of those ideas together.
Some ideas to reduce crime include community engagement, network ambassadors, school intervention, and parental education. Chair Jalen Drury says they're just getting started, but change is coming.
So the next steps will be continuing to have those discussions, but also making recommendations to city council, making recommendations to the city manager around policy and what those changes would be, but also making recommendations around what budget items should go to as well.
The next task force meeting will be January 6th, and the reset walk for the Parkview community will be Tuesday at 4 p.m. In Portsmouth, I'm Deja Parker, 10 on your side.
A man in Columbus is looking at an uncertain future after a fight over a fast food order. NBC4's Kyle Beachy spoke with the victim of a brutal beatdown that ended in facial reconstruction surgery.
Kerrigan Norwood just wanted a late night meal, so he stopped by this
You mean contact schools who did it? Because I mean, it could the victim could be any race.
Yeah, exactly.
McDonald's off of East 17th. He says they messed up his order, so he went back through the drive-through to get it corrected.
Shit.
But he never imagined what happened next.
The silver sandwich, and it didn't need to go.
A black dude. Okay, black dude.
What happened next?
The silver sandwich, and it didn't need to go that far.
Here's what Norwood looked like after the brutal fight just after midnight on October 17th this year.
I had to get a titanium implant. I still got a little bit of double vision.
Damn. He looked like he made out of clay, man. He looked like he got on a mask, one of those those masks they put on with the face.
Yeah, in
like
Hollywood.
a face mask. He looked like a face mask, man. God damn, man. He got he like a white guy underneath there with a mask of a black man face on his face and shit.
Sensitive to light, so I wear glasses.
Norwood had plans to enlist in the military, following in his mother's footsteps. But due to the severity of his injuries, now he's not sure he'll be able to.
Just a slew of criminals without any proof that they can be in society and not be a threat to society, because that's exactly what these monsters are, a threat to society.
He came back to McDonald's after realizing his order was wrong. He went through the drive-thru and says he was met with hostility.
Everybody except the manager, everybody in the crew, the person that took my order, the fry cooks, cashiers, all went to come yelling at me at the window.
Several crew members exited the building. One of them had a full cup.
Fluid was thrown in my car. I didn't know what it was. So when I tried to get out and call for help.
This is
They
You
sound
think?
like good people, though. They sound like good people.
I mean, you think he said something? You think he did anything? You think he just
I don't
came
think. I
back?
think he kind of intimidated them with some proper words, and they were like, they kind of got mad. They kind
Yeah.
of got mad. Like, no, I'm serious. I think he
Yeah,
really
no, yeah,
like
yeah.
was really insulting them with proper words, and they were like, "Fuck that. Let's beat them up."
I mean, we know it could have been something or nothing. It's one of those things with the brothers, right?
Yeah,
But but can you imagine how confusing it must be, for someone that doesn't like is not familiar with this kind of behavior, this kind of attitudes, for someone to come back and start talking shit in that manner about their order, it has to be
y-
like
y-
confusing.
yeah, you could tell because his mother talks properly. Like, they seem like good people.
Yeah, they do. That's what I'm saying. Like for the whole staff to come out there and then pouring stuff, throwing stuff on them, that's just over the top. I just think that it doesn't happen all the time. I go to McDonald's all the time. I've been going to McDonald's all my life. And it's just for everybody to come out. While the manager's there, like that's some shit you do when the manager's like off that day. Like the manager's there and everybody just came out and assaulted a customer. It's cameras everywhere. It's very odd, man. Hold it down. I gotta go get a cord, man. Hold it down for me, guys. I gotta go get the cord.
Yeah, this dude looks uncanny. Like he's a strange cat.
No, my cord's working. I don't have to go get the cord. Okay, I thought I had to go get another cord. Yeah, he's this kid. I think he seems. You know how Sun Men are. Sun Men don't hide it when they hood. Like when Sun Men hood, or when they got a rough exterior on the edge, they don't hide it. They personify it. They exemplify it. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
embrace
this
it.
guy, he appears to be really what he is. No black guy would act like this unless they were actually like this. There's no rewards for behaving like he does, for having his type of personality, his type of demeanor, his type of countenance. You know what I mean? It's not cool. It's not cute. It's not popping. You know what I'm saying? So I think he really is like this. I think he really is a mild-mannered, nice guy. I think he may have just caught like the backlash. Maybe people, I don't know. Maybe they were mad at somebody else. Maybe they had
He went to nigger zone. That's where he went.
Yeah. This is rough, man. I feel bad for him, man. I really do believe him, man. Let me start it right.
So I wear glasses.
Norwood had plans to enlist in the military, following in his mother's footsteps. But due to the severity of his injuries, now he's not sure he'll be able to.
Just a slew of criminals without any proof that they can be in society and not be a threat to society, because that's exactly what these monsters are, a threat to society.
He came back to McDonald's after realizing his order was wrong. He went through the drive-thru and says he was met with hostility.
Everybody except the manager, everybody in the crew, the person that took my order, the fry cooks, cashiers, all went to come yelling at me at the window.
Several crew members exited the building. One of them had a full cup.
Fluid was thrown in my car. I didn't know what it was. So when I tried to get out and call for help, that's when they jumped me and beat me.
Norwood says for 10 minutes, he struggled.
And they basically jumped me, grabbed me,
Long
put my
ass
shirt over
time.
my head, punched me in the face, beat me, didn't stop until one of the other patrons in the drive-thru said they were calling the police.
3 McDonald's employees are facing an assault charge. That case has been sent before a grand jury. But for Norwood, justice doesn't necessarily give him another shot at his dream of joining the military. Local for you, I'm Kyle Beachy, NBC4.
Getting new details tonight after Lake St. Louis police arrest a murder suspect wanted states away. Police say this man, Frederick Green, was arrested after a license plate reader flagged his car yesterday. Green is wanted for a murder in Georgia. Tonight, First Alert 4's John Kipper got video of that arrest. He's also hearing from police about the chase. John, what they tell you?
Yeah, Sam. Well, Lake St. Louis police directly credit license plate reader technology, along with decisive action from first responders, as a big reason a murder suspect who ended up in St. Charles County is now behind bars. This video shows the moments leading up to Lake St. Louis police closing in on a murder suspect Sunday, an arrest they attribute to license plate readers.
They're extremely effective.
Lake St. Louis Police Chief Chris DiGiuseppe
They'll be
telling
racist pretty soon.
the city's license plate readers have been effective in lowering crime and catching Frederick Green. He's charged in a homicide after police say he shot a man in Port Whitworth, Georgia on Saturday. That's about 15 minutes northwest of Savannah. DiGiuseppe says Sunday morning an officer got a hit on a license plate reader, sending an alert Green may be in their city. When they tried stopping Green,
the suspect refused. The suspect got up to very high rates of speed.
Court records say those speeds reached 120 miles per hour down I-64 before eventually turning back into Lake St. Louis.
On a snowy road, what's the problem?
His tire hit a curb. He finally stopped in this parking lot on Compassion Drive at Corporate Parkway.
Compassion
Still be on the
Drive.
loose if it wasn't for license plate readers, which departments
Maybe they'll
across
let
the
him go.
region added in recent years.
It's something that we can't be everywhere.
Now, despite law enforcement's support for license plate readers, a bill in the Missouri Senate was introduced to ban them just earlier this year. Now, that bill ended up dying without getting a vote. Reporting in the newsroom, John Kipper, First Alert 4.
All right, John, thank you. A crime alert tonight.
Out to Hollywood, where we are learning new details about a party where 4 people were shot. 2 of them died.
Right now, Hollywood police are still looking for who is responsible. CBS News Miami's Steve Majuri joins us live from Hollywood. Steve, you've learned new information about one of the victims who died.
That's right. We've just learned that one of the victims in this shooting is a former Florida State football player, and we found out that he died while trying to de-escalate a fight here at the hall. And
de-escalate. Ugh.
Octavius Jackson.
You remember him?
No, I'm just appreciating Octavius as a name. Like, it's actually kind of dope. But it's very Roman.
Yeah.
But they fucking ruin it.
he was killed along with his best friend. And we also spoke to the hall manager, who tells us that initially she believed that this was some sort of baby shower. But now the manager tells us she's found out that this was baby shower. But now the manager tells us she's found out that this was some sort of anniversary party. We've learned that Octavius Jackson is one of the two.
Wow. Florida, he got the freeform dreads. Yeah, he's street. He ex street guy. He looked like it. He got that look. You know what I'm saying?
His hair is. Oh, what do you always say, Uck? His hair is like his thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
2 people killed in a shooting at the J.C. Hall on Sunday, according to a friend of his. His friend tells us Octavius was a defensive tackle on the 1999 Florida State National Championship football team. Here he is, pictured with then-President Bill Clinton. J.C. Hall manager Deborah Gronvold.
Wow. Florida
Top son,
national
man.
champion. Yeah, 25 years ago, national champion. Yeah, I could see him. I could see this guy, you know, being a street guy to some extent. Even though he went to college, even though he played football, we'll see. Let's see.
Pictured with then-President Bill Clinton. J.C. Hall manager Deborah Gronvold was brought to tears today after discussing the shooting where 4 people were shot. 2 of them died. Gronvold says the people who rented the space were first-time customers.
A lot of people just don't have any respect for you know, the
anything
hall or other people.
The shooting happened at 1 a.m. Sunday. Gronvold says that's around the same time the rental period for the party ended. She says about 80 people were at the party, but police have not told us who the victims are.
When we have the contract with the client. They're responsible for their guest. We have a detailed contract that says on
With Michael
there
Moore.
no firearms. Like, anybody reads that?
Mimi
More
Miller lives right
masculine,
next
though.
to the hall. She didn't hear the gunshots.
Michael
but says
Les.
she has been woken up by loud parties there before.
And he was frankly quite frightened because bullets were coming, could have come through the house.
Police have told us they have several people of interest, but they haven't told us if any arrests have been made. Gronvold would like to know if the people involved in the shooting even have any connection at all to the partygoers.
When I talked to the client last, she said that she didn't know who the person was that started the shooting and that she...
Yeah, but you got 80 Negroes there. So, like, that's 80 different backstories, 80 different potential enemies, 80 different people that may have looked at somebody, said something, bumped somebody on the way in, cut somebody off on the way up there. Or objected to something that was being done to them. Sternly objected to some son man's behavior. Like, when you got 80 people, and they all converging on a place, coming from someplace, you don't know what, especially if they're son people. Like, if they're gliders, you pretty much can say, okay, they just coming here and it is what it is. Niggas bring baggage because it's so easy to have beef with another son person. It's so easy for a son person to kill you. So it's like you could accumulate beef easier, deadly beef as a son man. So when you put 80 of them together, that's a toxic mix, man. That's why Tommy said, when there's more than 3, that's what I want.
Last, she said that she didn't know who.
And shout out to Rabbit Hole Reviews. About the last story, he said they viewed him as Poindexter, too well spoken. I can agree with that. There was some of that in there.
Who the person was that started the shooting and that she wasn't even sure if they were an invited guest.
And the hall manager tells us that she's going to implement some new security protocols moving forward, including adding more surveillance cameras and also requiring that an off-duty police officer be there if a party goes in to the later hours. But we've learned from the manager that some damage has already been done to this venue because of this incident. The manager tells us tonight that one party has already canceled an event later this week because of this shooting. Live in Hollywood, Steve Majiri, CBS News, Miami.
New 5 tonight, a father who was the target of a racist rant on an LAX shuttle bus is speaking out.
Your family is from India. You have no respect. You have no roles. You think you can push everyone. Push. That's what you think you are. You're racist towards me. I'm American.
So are we.
You're not
Smash.
Not American?
Not American.
Okay, Jimmy.
Pervez Tawfiq, an Indian American, captured
Just for her point of view.
on camera last week, happened on board a United Airlines shuttle bus at LAX after a family trip to Cancun. He says the woman in the video was on their flight and asked his young son about his heritage. Then Tawfiq says things escalated.
She needs to have her life destroyed now.
So we got on the bus.
Yeah.
And within seconds of us being in the bus,
Smashed on his wife.
Damn. One of them was a Spirit plane.
Who's that
and
porn star?
Our little guy is
She was
4
jealous.
years old and he loves planes. So he's like, "Oh, a Spirit plane," and she goes, "Shut up, just shut up," to our 4-year-old and our 8-year-old who were talking.
Oh wow, she might be crazy.
That snapped me into attention pretty much.
Tawfiq, a wedding photographer, then began recording the woman who he says was intoxicated. He also says only one good
He
Samaritan
needs to
spoke
stop
for the
worrying.
family
He needs to
during
stop
all
worrying
of
about
this.
that. Smash
Many
that girl.
passengers were silent.
Intoxicated by a
Video,
Trump victory.
United employee was seen talking to the woman on the bus before she's escorted out. Fox 11 reached out to United Airlines and was told there was no additional information to share.
Coffin County man is in jail, charged with driving under the influence and causing a deadly crash. Good evening, I'm Steve Eager.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. So this happened on Highway 80 in Sunnyvale. Fox 4's Sean Rabb live tonight to tell us more about the victim and the crash that took his life. Sean.
Yeah, there was a big
Heather,
crash.
the
See?
victim is Jonathan Washington. He spent his life investing in the lives of young people in Mesquite. He worked at Baylor Hospital here in Dallas, but also had a second job. And he was on his way home from that part-time when he was tragically hit by a wrong way, police say, drunk driver.
He was like a little brother. He was just a positive guy. You always, like, if you had any doubts about angels on earth, it was him.
That's how Anquan Jackson saw his lifelong friend, Jonathan Washington, to family and friends, John. The 34-year-old killed early morning December 1st as he traveled to his home in Forney.
He took on responsibilities. His brother passed. His brother passed in 2020. He took on responsibility of being the father figure to his 2 nephews. So, you know, outside of that, he was also a husband, recently married. About 2 years ago, a son, worked at the hospital. All he did was just help people.
And helped a lot of boys become young men.
He was a youth football coach in Mesquite. Was also a finalist in Florida a couple of years back. Just won the championship this year in the Mesquite Football League.
Sunday morning about 2 a.m., Jonathan Washington was driving east on Highway 80 near Lawson Road in Sunnyvale after leaving his part-time job, almost home, when a brown Chevrolet pickup driving the wrong way, westbound on the eastbound side, slammed into Washington's Dodge Challenger. Edgar Cortez, 22-year-old Kaufman County resident.
Of course.
Wrong way in a pickup. There's only one person that does that.
Only one. Wrong way, period. Just wrong way in any car. It's always them. Like, always. Wow.
Was behind the wheel of the pickup truck. He was charged with intoxication manslaughter and was in the Mesquite City Jail with a $250,000 bond.
It hurts. It hurts the community. Like, it's a lot of kids impacted by this.
This is going to hurt the
as
Black Brown
coaches
Coalition.
as well. We getting texts from kids asking why, coach, why him?
A question for which Anquan Jackson has no words, but he does have words for people who drink and drive.
But it's not worth it. On either end, it's not worth it. You can either lose your life or you can be in jail. It's not worth it. Just be responsible. Because you never know who life you could take. Just like John, you impacted a lot of people. This one's gonna hurt.
Funeral arrangements still being made by the family for Jonathan Washington.
All right, Sean Rabb in Dallas tonight. Sean, thank you.
Now we turn to a segment that will be sure to bring a smile to your face. I'm already smiling because I'm really excited to talk with 10-year-old Sean Atachobi, also known as Sean the Science Kid. You've seen him. He's been on your For You page all over social media, taking the internet by storm as he shares his passion for science through fun and engaging videos on social media. Sean hopes to inspire others with his curiosity and knowledge of science and dreams of one day becoming a brain and heart surgeon. Joining me now to talk about his joy of spreading love of science to the world is Sean the Science Kid. Oh my goodness.
Yo,
Sean, we've been so excited to
calculated.
talk with you all day. Your energy is just so contagious. Curious, when did you become so excited about science? I see you got a little dance going there too, my friend.
I'm just excited to be here, and I can't wait to have an amazing, engaging conversation with you.
All right, so Sean, tell me how you got started with science. When did you first notice that science, that was your thing?
Well, when I was just 2 years old, I started to become really curious. So really, I just noticed that I love to learn how things worked, what happened, and why they happened. So that drove me to science, because science is exactly that. Science is what makes the world go round, and new discoveries is just finding different ways to make the world go round.
That is
wow.
We need to keep this kid away from Windows.
Yeah, protect this kid.
Yeah, I mean he sounds like a phenomenal kid, man. African immigrant parents.
So true. Well, Sean, why did you decide to share your passion with other kids and parents on social media? You've got quite the following.
Well, I can describe it in 3 words. Sharing is caring, but I just knew that I couldn't keep this brain to myself because I had learned so much and I just wanted to spread it with the world.
And we
Keep this kid away from like Sun people, period. Like this, period, man. They're gonna like make him feel bad about himself. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna nitpick him and find things wrong with him and make fun of his personality. You got to keep him away from Sun people, period. Just period. Keep him away from
Get him in a white school.
Yeah.
They're gonna strip him from his intellectual, curiosity. They're gonna discourage it. They're gonna beat it out of him.
He's got like an African last name too. I wonder if he's like the son of just immigrants.
He's a tether.
He's definitely a tether. I mean, just the way he's talking, like no black kid would ever talk like that on TV. Never.
He's a what?
You're so excited and glad that you're not keeping your
A tether. He's not an foundational Black American.
brain to yourself and that you're informing all of us. With that said, I want to ask you, Sean, what is your favorite science topic? And I want you to break it down to us. Put on your professor hat for us.
Okay. Well, my favorite type of science is a little thing called physics. Physics is the study of the inorganic world, or basically not plants or animals or stuff. It's about motion, light, and how they interact, and how motion and energy can combine, and how space, time encases all of that into this thing we call the universe.
Wow. Physics is one of the classes in college that I did not do so well on, but if I had a professor like you, I'm pretty sure I would have aced it. Sean, you also talk about the importance of spreading kindness to your social media followers. I mean, it drips off of you. You're so kind. Why is this so important to you, my friend?
Well, kindness is important because when you're kind to each other, that encourages each other to do amazing things. Because if you have a dream and you go up to someone and say, I have this dream, and they say you're never going to achieve it, are you still going to try and go to that dream? No, because your brain takes that as information that is true. Because we are social creatures and are led to believe what each other say. So if you say, yeah, go for it, which is what my mom did. She's amazing. I was like, and you might be like, woo, and get ready to go achieve your dream.
Shout out to Mama.
Sadly, after the interview, he was struck by an umbrito going the wrong way on the freeway.
Wow.
Terrible tragedy.
Jeez. This kid is he on the ball, man. Keep him away from nigga. I'm talking about like when I say away from nigga, I'm talking about like if you go to a restaurant and there's only one black person there and they're a waiter, man, and they try to do your table, tell them you want a white waiter. Like, don't even stop anywhere where it might be a black person. Okay? Don't eat Popeyes, don't eat fucking barbecue. Don't go to a basketball game. No, nothing. Just stay away from black people. If I'm this kid's mama, I'm staying the fuck away from niggas, man.
He needs a boombox that plays classical music.
You might want to add motivational.
Yeah, he needs to be around other kids like him.
Mama. And I think you might want to add motivational speaker to your resume as well. Sean, I have someone really special here who wants to talk with you. Samara Theodore. She is our meteorologist. Of course, she loves science as well. And she's got a question for you. Samara, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Morgan. And so nice to speak with you. You are so bright. I'm so proud of you. I have a question. I love weather, okay? Now, if there's one thing you could tell me about, how does weather impact, say, static electricity?
Well, as you know, it's winter and it's getting pretty cold, so you might be experiencing more static shocks. This is actually because there's less humidity in the air and there's less resistance because cold metals conduct electricity better than hot metals. So when you get electrons from the floor and they want to leave, you touch metal, which is conductive, and there's barely any resistance. You get shocked instantly because the universe tends toward electrical balance.
Oh, thank you so much, Sean and Samara. So glad to have my two.
Wow. Wow.
Neil deGrasse Tyson's little boy.
Nah, Neil deGrasse Tyson's a fucking fraud. Salute to Eric S. Man, Eric S. out in Nation Fame. Yeah. Shout out to Rabbit Hole Reviews. He said, "Keep that kid away from McDonald's drive-thrus." Yo, keep that kid away from everything, barbershops, like everything. Just put him in go to that town where that goddamn Melunja was talking about the other day. He said his town had
The best town in the country.
Yeah, the best town in the country. Take him over there, man.
And even then,
even the white kids are going to give him a hard time.
Nah, you think so? I don't know. I don't. Maybe.
I think if you put him in the right school, the white kid. Yeah, if you put him in a white public school, yeah, the kids will give him a hard time. But if you put him in a private school, white kids, yeah, man, yeah, he'll find his
favorites.
He'll find a friend group.
If they put him in a public school, they'll turn him into a girl.
Yeah, probably. So they'll probably say he's sweet, and I don't necessarily think he's sweet. I think he's got a little bit of what do you call it, like charm and charisma that he gets from his mom. I think he gets a lot of his personality. I think his mom might drill him, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just do things like that. And I think he's getting that from his mom. He's imitating his mom, but I don't think this guy is sweet. I hope not.
Scientists with us.
Oh, I'm your favorite?
Yes, you are. Thank you so much, Sean. Keep up the great work. It's so great to talk with you.
We begin first with a woman out on bond after police.
I gotta go back to that. These two chicks, right?
Now we turn to a
These two fly chicks, these two fly black chicks, they would never fuck with a grown man who acted like that. They would never fuck with a grown black man who acted like that.
True.
Press 1. A grown white guy, maybe. A grown Indian, but they would never fuck with a grown black man who acted like that.
But why is that? Why is that? Like, because I look at it like Eve did the same thing. Like, she dating a glider. Well, she married a glider, but she didn't marry a rich black man like that glider. Why is that?
I mean, I think black women, they're in the world too. They see what's up. They see that the trope of black masculinity or what a black man is. There's a trope. There's several tropes, but all the tropes are not this. You know what I'm saying? Way not this. They all, kind of like have an edge or have a certain type of demeanor about them. So they I think, and I also think that the DNA, they require a man with a lot of edge, and because they probably evolved in rough areas, savannas and shit like that, with many tribes. So they require a man with edge just intuitively. You know what I'm saying? A man with a lot of edge, a man who can protect them from other sons, from other sunmen. And they may not know that's what they're looking for because we're in a society where there's laws and there's, and there's institutions. But in the societies that we evolved in, where our traits, our good traits were passed on, and our bad traits were, lost. The traits that we would have kept would have been the ones to survive in amongst blacks, and one of her traits would have been to let me get a fucking Negro that can protect me from these other crazy ass Negroes.
It's kind of that way for all
You
women.
got to remember, SA is a tool, the way they wage war. So you have to be protected against potential mass SA.
Yeah, speak up too, man. You're doing that again, man.
I'll get another headphone.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think that that if he was 20 years older, they would be like rolling. They would be like making faces at each other, like, ooh, like they would think he was gay. They would be like, he could ask for a date, and they'd be like, oh no, I don't think so. No, I'm cool. No, thank you. But you're a really sweet guy. I just know you're not my type.
Yo, is that better?
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, no way he could get no action if he was 20 years old.
They'd use them for free meals and paying their bills.
We begin first with a
Oh yeah, well, not even. Here's the thing about sisters. A lot of sisters won't even do that. A lot of sisters, they don't play the game well. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't. They sons, so they don't play the game that well. You have some, yes, you have some, yes, you do. Some that will that know how to use people and things like that. But a lot of sisters are just straight up flat. Like they wouldn't see any, how would she know? She wouldn't see any possibilities there. You know what I mean? He's the science in the science. She knows basketball players and rappers and, you know what I'm saying, dude on a couple barbershops or somebody who, shit like that. She wouldn't be able to see the possibility to use him if he was a scientist. Even, if she was going to take that route.
We begin first with a woman out on bond after police say she beat her 4-year-old goddaughter, leaving her in critical condition.
She's now facing charges for injury to a child. Fox 26's Jade Fleury is live outside of the Harris County Courthouse. So, Jade, what can you tell us about these allegations?
Yeah.
Well, the allegations of child abuse against Tamaria Barnett are extremely unsettling. Today in court, prosecutors.
I don't know, man. That might be I hope that's not a please
Transformer.
Yeah, I already said smash, man. Please be.
The hands look small.
Yeah. I think I'm good too. I think I'm good too. It's just that jawline. You know what I'm saying? The jawline is, and then the covering up of the Adams apple. Maybe she's covering it, I don't know, man.
Come on, man. Maybe it's cold.
Details about the.
It ain't that fucking cold, man. If it was that cold, she'd have on a jacket. Goddamn.
I tell you what, if she were a Transformer, she'd be proudly deploying it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and her voice, it would be the fake female voice. She has a natural female voice. Yeah, that's a woman.
4-year-old's abuse, saying that Barnett beat the child to the point where she had bruises, lacerations, and even some soft tissue swelling.
You okay, Linda?
A question a father never wants to ask his daughter.
You okay?
4-year-old London Anthony hospitalized after police.
Yo, man, listen, man. I know that guy, man, that son. You see your daughter looking like this, and it wasn't the mom who did it. Oh, Jesus. Jeez. You okay, Linda?
A question a father never wants to ask his daughter.
You okay?
4-year-old London Anthony hospitalized after police say she was severely beaten by her own godmother, Tamaria Barnett. Officials say Barnett had been watching over the little girl since September while her mother was in jail.
I'm really just here for my daughter.
Okay. So while the mom was in jail, so this is a fucked up situation all the way around. This is a negroation, a nigga, a nituation. This is a nictuation. Jeez, look at her. She could care less. She bored. When you know what I'm saying, no remorse.
If she's there in court, who's filing her nails at the reception desk?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Beaten by her own godmother, Tamaria Barnett. Officials say Barnett had been watching over the little girl since September while her mother was in jail.
I'm really just here for my daughter, justice for my daughter, justice for London.
Court records detailing the disturbing abuse, stating Barnett critically beat the child for months with a belt, a cord, her hands, and an unknown object. London's father, Carrick Anthony, describing the extent of his daughter's injuries.
My daughter has a screw in her head to monitor her brain waves. She's on life support still currently. She can't breathe by herself. Her ribs are bruised.
Anthony says he entrusted London to Barnett's care during.
And she just gets to walk with her head like a normal person would have a coat over their head and be like, you know how when they walk there, like blocking the cameras, blocking their face. She's like head up, chin up, shoulders rolled back. She just, they just a different breed. Yeah, they're a different kind of human being, man. They're off the chart. You know what I'm saying? Like everything they do is off the chart. Whether it's voting, whether it's just everything they do is off the chart.
His move. He says that family recommended Barnett and he trusted her as London's godmother.
I feel like I just let my child down like I'm responsible. I personally feel responsible, but I'm not responsible.
Barnett also has a prior criminal history of violence. She was also charged with assault back in 2018 after hitting a woman with her fist. Her court-appointed attorney spoke outside the hearing.
We don't have any of the evidence. We don't have the police report right now. We don't have the discovery. So she is presumed innocent right now.
So I'm praying for a miracle that she recovers before Christmas.
Little London Anthony remains at Texas Children's Hospital where she is recovering. Barnett has been released on a $100,000 bond, and as part of her bond conditions, she's not allowed around minors under the age of 17, including her 11-year-old son. She's due back in court in February of 2020.
She was released. She left the court building that day with that smug attitude.
Well, she's innocent.
She looked bored. She looked at the judge like she was bored. And they let her go.
With that kid in the hospital, this will give this woman's hands time to heal.
Jeez. Wow. Houston is something else, man. Houston is a crazy place.
Around minors under the age of 17, including her 11-year-old son. She's due back in court in February of 2025. Reporting from downtown Houston, Jade Fleury, Fox 26 News.
Breaking news.
That reporter had narrow shoulders too. Her head to shoulders ratio was feminine.
Definitely. No, I it was just that jawline, man. I take back what I said.
It was a close one. It was a close one.
It's some sort of trans paranoia we're suffering from. You shouldn't be worried about that. That shouldn't be like a thought you have. It's fucked up.
Good morning. We have Yolanda Lattimore, Telly Boone, and D-Boy joining us today. Thank you all for being here. I'm excited to have you here. You have an incredible event happening this weekend. Miss Yolanda, what do you guys have planned?
Yeah, well, a group of us have teamed up with our skill sets and our resources to bury the hatchet, not only with gang violence, but just amongst each other, with conflict resolution. O3C is a collaborative initiative. It's all about the community coming together to empower each other and to, solve some of our issues.
All right, and I love this concept of you are trying to bury the hatchet. Milledgeville is really pushing for this. So why are you doing this? Why is that so important to you?
because clearly there's a problem. We're trying to come up with a solution. So we're trying to figure out how can we come up with a plan to break the cycle of the violent revenge. So that's one of the things that we're trying to do.
And do you feel like this is something you're seeing in Milledgeville a lot of?
Yes, you can. Yeah, it tells for itself. You know,
fucking Milledgeville has a goddamn violence interrupter.
Where the fuck is that at? Where is this at?
What are they actually doing? What was their point?
It sounds like Mayberry having fucking violence interrupters.
Jesus Christ.
So it's a lot of it going on everywhere, but not just Milledgeville. We chose Milledgeville because this is one of the places that dire to me. So I'm from Sparta, but Milledgeville is one of the place I call home. So we start here and we're going to move abroad with it.
All right, so this is just the beginning, the inaugural event. I want to talk about it, D-Boy. Attendees going to the event, it's free, first off, and you don't have to sign up, just show up. What can they expect going to this event?
They can get a lot of knowledge of not just not joining a game, but life, everyday moments. You know, you're able to think before you react. You know, we're going to have a couple of detectives coming out speaking, and also we got programs to follow up behind this. So, it's a lot going on.
All right, and so I want to talk about this. How did you guys come up with this? I know it took a few months to get everything together and ready for this weekend. How did you get to the spot where you decided we need this event? Why did you decide that, and how did you get here, Ms. Yolanda?
Well, it's not the first time that this type of initiative has, been taken. I just feel like we're taking more of an organic, authentic approach. We're going from scratch. Not to say we'll never need funding, but we're just connecting all of our resources, and we're very well connected. Like I met these two as artists, and we didn't just meet each other. And now it's like we're coming together 360 to work with others to make a difference. With more knowledge, more wisdom, and not to say we haven't made mistakes in our lives. That's why we want to make sure children know and are skilled up to be able to find balance, with conflict, in their finances, with their spiritual selves, and all of the above.
That's incredible. And so I want to talk about it, Telly. Why is this so important to you that you see kids and families and grownups going to this event this weekend? What does that mean to you, and why is it so important?
Because of the influence that we have and the things that we've been through in life. Like I grew up on a path where I made a lot of wrong decisions, but I didn't have the right guidance. So we're trying to put together something that can kind of steer them in the right direction. So that's why it's dire to me, because I lost 2 kids to the system, and it just feel like it's my duty to pay it back to the community.
All right, and so D-Boy, for people who are on the fence about going to this, why do they need to be at Bury the Hatchet? What do you want to tell them? Why should they be there?
Well, we also doing a thing where if they come there and they could come there and sign up to do a positive rap song, and we're going to choose a winner, at another event, and they get $1,000 in a feature with me, and also radio play and also a future video.
All right, so start practicing writing now. We're going to get some good music. Yeah. All right, if you want to find out more information about Bury the Hatchet, we're going to put that on your screen now. It'll be this weekend, November 30th at the Midway Event Center in Milledgeville from 10 to 1. All the information will be on our website, 41.
Where the fuck is Milledgeville?
They think they're going to make a nice, positive rap song, and that's going to curb the violence.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's located in Blackistan.
Yeah, I mean, Milledgeville is Georgia. It's got hoods. Yeah, they got hoods. Wow.
How are you gonna rap and not rap about shooting people?
Yeah, how do you do that? It's almost impossible.
On NBC.com. Thank you all for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. I'm upset with the justice system.
Wow.
Where was this guy for the months that stuff was going on?
Family and friends are mourning the loss of a beloved community leader and advocate who was gunned down outside a Prince George's County restaurant. Police say 33-year-old Cornelius McDonald was shot and killed early Saturday morning on Lotsford Court in Largo. Police are still searching for the shooter tonight. News 4's Mauricio Casillas has the latest on the investigation and how loved ones are remembering
That's
McDonald.
the governor.
Cornelius Neal McDonald dedicated his life to helping others. His family says he had a heart of gold, a mentor to many who sought to make his community a better place. Now the community is shattered by this tragic loss. It was just before 1 a.m. on Saturday where police found McDonald suffering from gunshot wounds outside Jasper's restaurant. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
It's never good at any point in time, but for this to happen around the holidays, it's even rougher.
McDonald's cousin Rico says the family is stunned and heartbroken as they deal with a difficult but familiar pain. McDonald's brother also lost his life to gun violence more than 5 years ago. That motivated McDonald to start his nonprofit Stay Solid, which supports youth and young adults in our region who are facing.
Brother got killed 5 years ago, so that's what sparked him to do all the. Remember, we did this the other day. Our violence interrupted. He made it far though. He this is the governor right here, and this lady right here is the senator. She's the senator from Maryland. So he had made it a long way with that violence interrupted stuff. Wow.
Lost his life to gun violence more than 5 years ago. That motivated McDonald to start his nonprofit Stay Solid, which supports youth and young adults in our region who are facing mental health challenges. McDonald would share his story with high schoolers in the community who were facing similar trials and tribulations. He was dedicated to preventing gun violence and showing love to others.
That's the crushing part of it. You know, I would see him at any random time or even when he was doing his work. And first thing he'd do, come up to me and give me a hug. That's just him.
McDonald was a loving, dedicated father to his 7-year-old son. His cousin Lachelle says his loss is monumental, but they take comfort in knowing he touched so many lives.
For us, he was the glue and the heartbeat to our family. He loved having fun, and he just loved being around people. He was a change agent in so many different ways, and he was a beautiful soul.
Police have yet to say what led up to the shooting. McDonald's family continues to seek justice with a call to the community to put down the guns.
I don't wish this on anybody. So it's time to stop. It's time to come together and start talking about whatever issue you might have and stop putting innocent people in harm's way.
Again, Prince George's County Police are still looking into the circumstances surrounding the shooting. They've yet to release any information on a possible suspect or a possible getaway vehicle. If you have any information, you're asked to reach out to them. Reporting in Largo,
This restaurant has a ton of cameras, I'm sure, man. Like, he was found dead right out front, and they don't have.
Casillas, News 4.
They don't have any clue.
Say he was a racist before he was the president. That one.
I may get into that tomorrow, man. This from here. Oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all this one. This on Twitter.
I'm surprised. Well, not really surprised, but it's just funny seeing these liberal white women go up against a black dude. Like you know you're gonna lose. Why do they even try?
Because they're morally superior to us.
Yeah.
But the skin color trumps everything.
Not if he's an agent of white racism.
That's true.
He's a white supremacist.
No, he's a brother.
He's internalized his colonization.
It's true. I mean, word, yo.
Yo, what up, Mystic Philly?
Mystic Philly back in the building, man. You off tour, man?
Yo, did you go on an adventure to Tahiti?
Yo, I don't know if you caught this, but one time,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, one time Mystic Philly said in the chat, it was a while ago now, I feel like, but he was in the studio with, you know what, Schoolboy Q?
Yeah, I don't ever listen to his music, but I know who he is.
Yeah, the one song, one hand on the wheel, left hand on the press. But I butchered that, but you know, but but he was saying how Schoolboy Q was he was laughing. He thought you were funny or some shit. Like he was fucking with it.
He enjoyed the show. Like I had him, Alchemist, Navy Blue, quite a few of them cats from out Cali, Rock Marciano, all them cats, man. We were sitting in the
Alchemist,
studio listening
the
to y'all.
producer.
Yeah, man.
Alchemist,
I
the
was hanging
producer.
out with them dudes.
He's
But
dope.
when you say that they was rocking with it, what do you mean? Like
No, they enjoyed the show.
yeah.
Oh, you were listening to the show. With them,
We was in the studio. Yeah, we
Right.
was in the studio listening to the show, and they was loving it. They loved it.
Because that was keeping it real, or
Nice.
what? You know, I
What
guess I'm
show was
asking.
that? What episode was that? Do you know?
It was a minute ago now. I feel like.
Yeah, it was a minute ago. I didn't turn them on to it, man. They listen to it on the regular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. So you got some some important
Right.
guys, man. You know,
Yeah,
checking
I
your
like
show out.
Schoolboy Q. I like Schoolboy Q. Yo, but I mean, maybe you don't know this, but like, what exactly were they fucking with? Because I'd be saying some shit that the typical brother can't stomach. You feel me?
No. They was rocking with it. Like they agree with 99.9% of the topics that we talk about.
Right,
know?
right.
So yeah, they rocking with it.
That's
So
what's up.
where were y'all at? Where were you at last? Where was your where did your travels take you last?
Well, we in LA now.
You was in Switzerland or some shit last time.
We was all over Europe. Alchemist and Rock Marciano, they was doing like a little tour. They swept through different countries. They did like shows or whatever. The turnouts was crazy though. It was it was a real good time, man. Real good time.
So y'all were doing arenas or clubs?
It was more so like small venues. I know you remember the Electric Factory, TLA here in Philly, TLA and Philly, venues like that, like some small venues, but they pack crowds.
Wow. So the Alchemist and Rock Marciano have a fan base in Europe. Yo, Europe is amazing because it's like they like more like real music than America.
Yes.
Like
they
Wu-Tang,
love real hip hop.
Wu-Tang kills it in Europe. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, they get the bag. They get the bag over there, man. Like a lot of these artists, they love to tour like over in Europe, like overseas. They're getting, they're collecting more than what they would here in the States. Like the States ain't really doing nothing, man. But the appreciation for the culture, the true hip hop culture is well respected over there.
Well, they have a growing Sun population too.
No, hold on now. I was just about to say, it goes back to the point how much gliders suck at racism. They fucking suck at it.
Yeah, they like the hip hop that niggas is too cool for. Niggas here is too cool for all of them. Half the rappers in America claim they not rappers, they gangsters, and they only rap because there's money in it. But
Bing bong. Yup.
The real rappers, the real b-boys, the real hip hop ones over there, the gliders. You know what, man? I wanted to say this too. The Dutch, they make some dope beats, man. Like they do hip hop. You know the hip hop beats they make over there. They so clean and orderly, but they not like funky, but they like it's weird because it's like it's not funk, but it's a hip hop beat.
Listen,
that shit be clean.
I'll say this. when I was over there, bro, it was like going back to the 80s, early 90s when hip hop was pure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was lovely. Like it was well respected. And I would say 80% of the crowd was gliders. I mean, and they was rocking.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt, man. You familiar with the 930 Club in DC?
The 930 Club. I remember DC Live from back in the day.
Okay, now I'm just trying to think of the type of venues that y'all was at, man. You familiar with the Fillmore?
Yeah. So it was close. Yeah, it was spots like the Fillmore, things like that. It wasn't like arena crowds. We did a couple of arenas over there. We just here recently did they finally finished the taping of it. It should be up on Amazon. Where we did one out in California where the Alchemist put out, a lot of different artists, newer artists that, that are
So do y'all
scientists
travel
labeled.
together? Do
Huh?
y'all travel together, or do y'all all take your own travel? Like you got to book your own flights, or do y'all fly like on a package like deal or something like that?
No, we for the most part we all travel together.
But you know what, you might disagree with this, but I disagree with you when you say look, I think the real hip hop is like that King Von shit, right? And the reason I say that, Ike, is because it's more consequential, Ike. That the shit that he talks about, if you slow it down and listen to it, is the problem that we are facing, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
The other shit is cool for sure, but that King Von and all that other shit that falls under that.
Real, yeah. Rap became gangster, and once it became gangster, it never left gangster. So that lets you know that that's kind of like the foundation of it, because black people are like, what do we do? Like, think about what we do. We have think about this. I was thinking about this earlier today, right? All the beefs, like when you hear these rappers on the show, like they'll go on Vlad or one of these shows, and they'll be like, and the white dude will be sitting there like, so tell me how the beef with so and so started. And it be some little like beta ass girl shit, like some shit like some little girl, like white girls at a private school will be beefing over. So yeah, Megan told me she was gonna come to meet me at study hall. I was in the study hall for 4 days and she never even came. And then when she came, she had a bad attitude. Like, and these niggas be beefing, like shooting at each other over that shit. And it'd be funny watching like the white interviewer sit back and like interview them about their little beef. And it's just wild, man.
Look, I'll say this. What one of the fellas said. They said, like when back, like during our era, we're most of the parents of these kids now that are listening to this type of hip hop, and he was saying that, when a lot of these these parents were running around, listening to like DMX, Biggie, things of that nature. These children were in a womb, so they were catching a lot of, this music, and and this is what they grew up to. So they kind of switched up and start wilding out.
But again, not to the point I was making a second ago. I mean, the one line where he says, "At your funeral, I might just slide, shoot up everybody that's outside." Think about that. That's the issues that we are literally facing as a society, where these clowns are shooting into crowds with switches, bro. For one, out of fucking what? They're driving recklessly.
Yeah, I agree.
It's speaking it's literally speaking to the issues that we are facing on a daily basis, the entire day, Chief. You know, it is what it is, bro.
It also captures the brazenness of it all. To rap about it.
And nothing seems to make it any better.
This is the clip from Schoolboy Q that I saw.
Yeah, we need to get back. We need to get back to the real hip hop, man. I mean, and it's a lot of artists out there that are really doing, they really doing the real hip hop thing.
Oh, so it's more of them than it's more rappers like that than it's saying. Specs is saying on the beach. You can find like the ones doing the real hip hop. They're there, but it seems like you would never know how many there are because they don't get radio play and they don't spin because the vibration in the community is the gangster shit, is the sexy red, the Meg Thee Stallion. That's the vibration that black people. Yo, listen, man. You don't know how many times I've been in a car with a female and she got little kids in the back. And they listening to I won't just fault the female, but I'll fault the whole society, right? It's drive time, like getting off from school, right? So 3 to 5 o'clock, drive time. The local radio stations, not the hip hop stations, the local pop radio stations will be playing fucking King Von, Little Durk, Meg Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, Baby
right.
Bumping that gangster shit.
Motherfucking NBA young boy. I'm talking about drive time. And that's what's blasting in the car when Dejanay or goddamn fucking Rashonda got her fucking kids in the car, taking them to practice. But listen to this though. This is Schoolboy Q, man.
Been rumors that LA is probably one of the most dangerous places for rappers. Do you believe that's true?
Yeah. Wow. Because I mean everybody be checking in. That's y'all favorite thing to do. Check in with somebody that's gonna rob your stupid ass.
Right.
Wow. Yo, you think that guy, the guy that you don't know, motherfucker, in California got your back? The guy that got beef with other hoods and all this, you checking into that dude? Right. Bro, just go to the hotel, get you something to eat, go back to the hotel.
Do your business.
Go have some fun. Right. Where shit is fun. Why do you want to go over there?
Right.
For what? Call me.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
The nerve to call me sometime. Like, like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm playing video games. My daughter got a soccer game tomorrow, bro. Grow the fuck up. Like, I'm not about to drive over here to Beverly Hills and drop you off.
Been rumors that LA is probably one of the most.
Hey,
damn.
Have you ever seen the video of Steven Jackson checking in?
Well, listen, when we was out, man, we were playing basketball, tennis, golf. We was driving around the little RCA cars and stuff. We was having fun. It wasn't, it wasn't like on some gangster shit. We was out there actually enjoying ourselves, acting like big kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the stability a white audience can provide.
But it feels like everything Schoolboy Q just said, these song words couldn't comprehend. Like they'd be confused. Like, what do you mean? Like what the fuck do you think? I mean, bro, grow the fuck up, dude. The fuck you a grown ass man acting like your little ass boy, bro.
Yeah, but
right.
But I think they get. I think they understand what he said. I think though it's just they don't wanna like niggas ain't like barbarian. Niggas speak English and they've been in society all
their
life.
They retarded, Joe. They don't look like retarded.
Yeah, but they know what he mean. Like they know what he mean.
They know what he said. They know he said words. But as far as like doing it and like what they like,
maybe
what do you mean?
Boys on the block. Maybe the boys on the block, the ones with the wildy eyes, with that wild stare and shit. The ones that's cold.
Yo, listen. Check this out. We was hanging out with a lot of the promoters. I mean, and a lot of these guys, these were gliders. I mean, these guys were like in there, in their late 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, and they knew about hip hop, like old school hip hop. I mean, we were having deep conversations about it, man. I mean, it was real. It was real. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, man. The hip hop from back in the day is like, I was just thinking about the Fugees the other day, man, and how much I was in on the Fugees. Like
Jersey.
I was a
Fugees are
big
dope.
Fugees fan, man, and it's like they forgotten, like history's forgotten them. You know what I'm saying? They were huge, man.
I'm sure they're still worship. I'm sure they're still worship over at MTR.
Yeah.
Yo, one more thing. Red, I know you guys are, you might be familiar with the twins, Red Pill and Blue Pill, but Red was talking
I know them.
Red was talking the other night, and he was talking about like how we grew up in the 80s, and we were listening to, Pat Benatar and Journey and, Sting and stuff like that. We didn't discriminate on what we were listening to, and they were all bangers. We listened to everything. It was the culture at the time. It wasn't just shoot 'em up, bang, bang, bang. It was good music. And good music when you hear good music.
Yeah, I listen. In DC we did like kind of not listen to like I remember when Bon Jovi was out, right, when he first came out in the 80s.
Jersey.
Like, we thought we thought that was like we would make fun of you if you we made fun of people that listen to that type of stuff. In DC it was a little bit different. It was more of a stricter code to music because they had go-go. And and they had their own music, go-go, and then they had rap a little bit. But but like I will say this, like white music, listening to like what we would call white people's music, because that's what we called it, white people's music, like that stuff that's some of my favorite songs. Like I could listen to just all white artists all day long and be as happy as listening to all black artists all day long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like other day I was listening to some Hall and Oates, right? You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Hall and Oates and some goddamn you know what I'm saying, Benny Mardones. You know what I'm saying? It's like white music is a different tempo, there is a different beat. It is a different frequency. Don't get me wrong. There's a different frequency though. We do create, like when we create it from scratch, it's a different frequency than black people music.
For real.
Like black people is like jazz, and white people is like classical music. That would be the best the comparison I would give to the frequency difference between white and black music. Black is more like jazz, and white is more like classical. White people's music is a little bit more polished up. Black people's music is organized. Black people, exactly. And black people's music
structured
is in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? More our beat, we more in the pocket though. We're more in the pocket with the beat, but we're more. There's a chaos to the music that's beautiful though. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful chaos. That's why we created hip hop, jazz, the blues. You know what I'm saying? Those things that we created, those music genres are more like less structured. Yeah, like you said, less organized music. Great show, man. Salute to you guys, man. I do want to do this one last story, but my charger is acting up. I'm trying to get this story in, man. This one last one that I want to do, man. So hold on, guys. Don't go nowhere, man. We're gonna try to get this one last Walmart in, man. This chick,
Oh my God.
Where did she? And you don't have to ask where she learned that from. We did videos. We did whole compilation videos.
Little terrorist.
And nobody can touch her. Think about it. Nobody can touch her because that nobody wants to get in trouble. Nobody wants to touch her, and then she like jerk away, and then somebody come in there and shoot you.
It's an alternative form of parenting.
Look at the lady. Let her go. You hear the lady on the phone. Let her go. Like the black woman on the phone is like taking up for this kid. Let her go. Nah, man. What the fuck is you talking about, bitch?
Let me ask this. So you think Trump was going to slam the hammer down with a lot of this nonsense going on?
I
Get
think
some organization.
This is a black woman who voted. This is a future Democrat voter. So she's just this is a future Democrat voter.
Well, she may have been triggered by something though.
I don't think you can do anything about them. I think you can only
was she misgendered? I don't understand. Why is she so
Only thing
angry?
you can do is move. Only thing you can do is move away from move.
We must
It's the
prioritize.
entitlement. It's the entitlement. It's the entitlement. Oh shit! Don't you do that to a little girl. Just let her destroy the whole store. You hear this? Listen to this
No,
white liberal
that's the
woman.
line of thinking, straight up.
And he didn't do nothing. She acted like he came in there and punched her in the face. He didn't do anything. He really didn't do anything.
She could get to the point of murdering people, and she'd still be saying that.
Yeah, it's why they don't listen to cops.
Don't do that to a little girl. You don't know what she's going through. Yo, this is unacceptable. What do you mean you don't know what she's going through? This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
I missed the setup. Is she there alone, or is there any kind of relative or parent there with her?
I don't know, man.
Son child.
I'm trying to figure out. I want to read the comments.
With the hard ER attitude.
It said, arrest a single parent, charged for all damages plus employee hours for cleanup and banned from Walmart or additional hefty fine. This one says an additional fine would be warranted too in visits from Child Protective Services. I wonder where the child learned that behavior. I mean, we see these videos all the time, right? Right?
Oh yeah.
Like we see these videos all of the time. Like this is literally, I used to do these videos all the time on this channel, man. Back in the day, like this is. Nah, this is like EBT card. Her EBT card declined. Her EBT card declined, so she's going to destroy the store.
Yeah, I run that germs nowhere. Call the police now. Call them.
This should be a comedy skit or something. This is too ridiculous.
And you can't refuse her service. If she would turn and say, you know what, actually, can I get a quart of milk? You have to bring it to her.
The privilege.
She's got like a cast on her leg.
Think about this. All that, somebody got to, you can't restock that. How do you restock that? Because that's going to look janky on the shelf. That's not going to look, it's on that floor. You can try to restock some of this stuff, but you might have to mark that down. Mark a lot of this stuff down.
What the fuck you doing?
I'm recording this shit. Yeah. Go down there.
Surely she was arrested.
You see the entitlement? Her card declined. Not the guy made a mistake. There's no acceptance for this. This is unacceptable no matter what happened. But she's doing this because her card declined.
All that empty land Listen, all that empty land we got out in the desert that we not using. Oh yeah, let's build some facilities and stack these people in there and let them take each other out.
But even as you look at this, there are apologists for it. That was every Kamala supporter knows this is happening.
And everybody's scared to put their hands on them because either they're gonna get some simp to come kill you. Like she could make a phone call or some nigga will come down there and shoot into the store and hit somebody who ain't got nothing to do with it and go do 30 years in prison.
He's also this shit going on.
Hopefully we'll see some change come January.
Just punch her in the face.
And this
She
brother,
said,
he
"We
gotta clean that
outside."
shit up. Yeah, they gotta clean that shit up. And listen, this is common. This is not something that's like that is rare. This is what they do.
This woman completely trashes this convenience store, causing thousands of dollars worth of damages, all because they raised the prices on the sodas. The guy recording walked in when she had already terrified all the staff out of the store, leaving her alone with just the other customers. She actually took her time trashing the store before walking out with a bunch of sodas.
Where were the police?
Somebody's got to clean that up, and that's not the charge she gets. It'll be something like disorderly conduct, and then they'll plead that down, or you might even throw it out.
This should be terroristic charges.
She ain't got a shot in hell of doing a day in jail for this. If she did a day in jail for this, listen, she don't. There's no way she could do a day in jail for this. Like after it's been adjudicated. What is this charge? Destruction of property. Okay. Probation. Or community service.
Let me ask you this: with the new administration coming in, do you think they're going to change a lot of this?
Yeah, I think this type of stuff, how you change this though, is not at the
This is a local thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's at the local level. You can't change this at the federal level. But I will say this. Local Republican politicians will be emboldened. People are emboldened by Trump now. Like Trump will embolden people to like you can already see it the way things are changing with just his presence in the arena has changed a lot of things, and he hasn't even gotten office. So I think it'll change like that. I don't think he can stroke a pen and change this stuff. Also, these women are going to become more terrible people because they lost. Like they're salty because they lost. These are black women, 92% Democrats. Like these women are salty. They feel white liberal women. You're gonna start seeing white liberal women doing shit like this. They're gonna start, doing it. They're gonna do this shit more though, because they're salty. Yeah,
especially in these sort of sanctuary cities.
Exactly. And it's the entitlement. This is all entitlement.
She got time
to feel like you can do this. Think about feeling like you can do. Think about like having 4 kids and none of the 4 baby daddies stayed around. Living in a neighborhood where you can't control any of the young teens in your neighborhood, but coming to this man's store and feeling like you're entitled to destroy it.
Let me ask you this. Although I'm presuming none of you are an actual black woman, the entitlement that you're talking about, do you think it's because they've grown up their entire lives being told that, whiteys will never give you a chance and you're always going to be held down and it's their fault? I mean, how much of this is psychology?
Some of that, yeah, that's a lot. You got to work twice as hard.
Oh yeah.
Every trope, everything, every lie that they believe, black people about racism. Racism is everywhere, and
Now,
every
does she believe it? Do you think she really is saying to herself, yeah, I'm okay to do this because my people have been screwed over for generations?
Yes.
Yeah, because here's the thing: some teen
Yeah,
boys
a whole
from her
bunch of
neighborhood,
BS.
some teen boys from her neighborhood, will be playing a fucking boombox outside of her front window at 3:00 in the morning, and she'll be scared to fucking tell them to turn it down.
Yeah.
But she knows that she can come here because the threat of violence is not here. If this was man and Marquavius had a store, she would never come in there and do this. You kidding me? If this was Marquavius and goddamn Roderick Tavius' store,
She have
It wouldn't
3
have been
bullet
so-
holes.
It wouldn't have been so well
she
stocked.
wouldn't have did it. She wouldn't have did it. Yeah, but she wouldn't have did it. She'd have never did it. You know what I'm saying? She'd have never did this.
Yeah.
She'd have probably called the simp. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? But she knows the threat of violence is not here. There's no
Well, also,
threat of
she'd have
violence.
no reason to. She'd have no reason to do it because they're not white or they're not, they're black. So it's okay that her card get declined.
Yeah, well, we resent Arabs too, though. So it's like it's not like we don't resent Arabs and Jews that own stuff in our neighborhood. We resent them too, just like we resent white people. But we know that we resent them differently because if you're a black woman, they're part of the coalition, people of color and shit. But yeah, this is they get this stuff. They get this stuff from places like this is common. This is common.
You going to call the loud on her.
And then it's also, well, they got
Your
insurance.
ass going to jail now. You'll get right when them laws come.
She locked
Bet
in.
your ass. You can't get out. You can't get out. Bye-bye. Jail time. You want me to tell him to let you out?
Now, fuck this bitch now. Put your hands on me now. Put your motherfucking hands on me now.
Girl, you tell me what that time.
Put your motherfucking hands on me now.
What we doing with that?
The fuck y'all think this is?
God, I wish he would put his hands on her.
Fuck out. That's what the fuck I mean. What else y'all gonna come up with? What y'all ain't doing for the devil? Leave the fuck alone.
To me, this isn't worth just getting her locked up for the night.
Yeah.
Somehow it doesn't seem like a fair exchange.
Yeah, he would have just been better off. Let her
It's like
out.
a bomb. It's like, just get away from it.
Yeah.
It's very
Just-
strange.
When she walks in the door, just hand her a bag of stuff. Here, let me get out of here. It's extortion.
Yeah, this is where that little girl gets that from. That's all I wanted to show you guys. This is where she gets it from. Yeah. Any
Now,
final
see, if there was a
thoughts?
man in the house, he could punch her and put an end to this.
Shout out to Alio, man. Alio in the building. Salute to you, Alio. Any final thoughts?
She needs a man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
No, she don't.
Man.
Someone to assert authority.
She need a jail cell.
Help her with her emotions. Be a shoulder to cry on. Save space for her, I think they call it.
Yikes. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here.
Later.
Peace out.